In this exercise, you will create a new layout tab that contains viewports for the mechanical template file that will be used to print 4 views of a mechanical object, such as myPhone3D, on an A-size sheet of paper from a layout tab in Paperspace. You can see an example of that on the screen right now with the 4 viewports highlighted in yellow. I'll begin with the layout drawing that I had previously completed. And if I click on the Model tab, you can see what the model looks like there. Now this model is actually on the wrong layer. That's why those lines are so thick. So I'm going to select this entire phone and put it on the correct layer, which is the Objects layer. The difference is the line weight on the borders layer is 0.09 and the line weight on the Objects layer is 0.5, so the border is almost twice as wide. I created the A-size layout sheet, and I'm going to use that by copying it to create another layout sheet. And I'll just right click and then I'll say move or copy the A-size layout. I'm going to click on create a copy. You can now see the copy down here on the tab. I'm going to rename that tab A-size 4 views. So I'll select it and I'll right click and I'll say rename, and I'll call it A-size 4 views. And then I'm going to delete the existing viewport. Just select it and delete it. And I'm going to place 4 more viewports using the Viewports command. So I'll type in Viewports. Down toward the bottom there's one that has 4 equal. I'll say OK, and I'll hit enter to accept the fit option. It fits those 4 viewports. They come in on the wrong layer. I'm going to need to create a viewports layer. Well, actually I have one already, so I just need to apply it. I'll select all those viewports. I'll put them on the viewports layer. That's the yellow layer. And now I need to resize these viewports to display the viewport scale at 1:1. I can double click on a viewport to get into model space, and then I can change that to be 1:1 here. I can do a zoom all, Z enter, A enter to pan it around. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my snap and grid for that viewport. I'll do the same thing down here. I'll do a zoom all. I'll turn off my snap and grid at the status bar, and I'll set that viewport scale to be 1:1. For this one it's actually not the top view, so I can click up here in the view controls and I can change that to be the front view. I'm going to need to rescale it, and then I'll come over to the right side view and do the same thing. I'm going to turn off my snap and grid. I'll do a zoom all. I'm going to change it to be the right side here. I'll rescale it to be 1:1 for the viewport scale. We do the same thing up here in the top view, scale of 1:1. And now you can see that my viewports are not quite the right size. I need to adjust them. The front view, or the top view here, needs more room. So what I can do is I can select these 2 viewports and I can bring them down and resize them. So I want to start them right around in here. I'll I'll resize this viewport to be inside of the border lines. I'm going to bring these two down. I'll select the bottom left and right viewports and bring them down. And then I'll bring the bottom left and right viewports up. They don't need as much space. This gives me a little more room in this top viewport. I don't know if it's enough room or not. No, I still need more room there. So I need to make that a little bit bigger. So what I'll do is I will bring all these viewports, I'll select all 4 viewports, and I'll bring them all down using the move command. And so I'll bring them all down the same distance, and then I'll select the top 2 viewports and bring them up. And perhaps that will give me enough space here in this viewport to make the top view fit. Another zoom all and another resizing, and it does indeed fit now. So that's good. Notice my viewports don't quite line up, so I'll resize these viewports. I'll do another zoom all and adjust the size of it there. Preferably the viewports, the objects in the viewports should line up, and if you haven't adjusted the size of the viewports wrongly, that will occur, because the construction lines that connect the views horizontally and vertical, they should always be in line like they are now. So my front view, my top view, and my right side view are all being shown in a 2D wireframe. I want the view in the top right corner to be a southwest isometric. So I'll select southwest isometric. I'm going to turn off my snap and my grid. I also want it to be not a 2D wireframe visual style, but the realistic visual style. So I'll select that. It looks pretty good. I'll double click outside of the viewports to go back into paper space, and I'm pretty pleased with the way my viewports look. One other thing I might do is to move these 2 viewports over within the boundary of my border. And if I do that, then I need to resize these a bit as well. And let me just do a zoom all within this and make sure it's still 1:1, and make sure that this realistic view still fits. It doesn't quite fit. I need just a little more space, so I'm going to move these viewports over just a little bit more. Go into model space again, do another zoom all, resize it. I think this should be it. Alright, that looks quite good. Go back into paper space by double clicking outside of those viewports. Oh, I now have an issue with this one, so let me do a zoom all in the right view and change that to 1:1. Okay, it fits within, so I'm finally done with that. I can do a printout of it, which is what I want to do. I'm going to print either a PDF or a DWF of it. Before I do, though, I want to make sure that my viewports don't print. So I'm going to go to my Layers Properties Manager by typing in Layers, or picking on it from the Layers panel. And then for the print icon in my Viewports layer, I'm going to click on it to get the red circle with the line through it indicating that it's not going to print. And now when I hit the print button or type in plot, the layout comes up. I can do a preview. Wow, looks pretty good. I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and I'll hit plot here. I'm going to save this, and I'll call it myPhone3D Viewports with my initials here. I'll hit save. Now it creates that PDF, and after it creates it, it comes up on the screen. Let me maximize that. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, and I'll rotate it so that it appears correctly. And it looks pretty good. So there's my my PDF of my myPhone3D with the 4 viewports showing the front, top, and right side view and a southwest isometric in a realistic visual style.